Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and did you know that Universal Orlando is going to look completely different going into 2026? Of course, with Epic Universe officially open and major changes to tickets, hotels, and even ride availability, I'm breaking down 5 major updates that you need to know about if you're planning a Universal Orlando vacation in 2026 and beyond. And my main goal here is to make sure you could save a little money, avoid some big surprises, and that's why I'm going to break down those new ticket options, the updated park-to-park policies, and there's a major change going on at Volcano Bay that you need to know about. So as always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I'm about to break down 5 major changes at Universal Orlando in 2026 and beyond that you need to know about. We're going to start with number 1, and this is kind of my specialty. This is what I love talking about on this channel, and that is the Universal Orlando tickets. Universal Orlando has officially released their 2026 ticket types, and there's one major change that has to do with Epic Universe. And that major change is that on certain multi-day tickets, you can visit Epic Universe more than once. Essentially, you can actually visit each day. And what the ticket types are, any multi-day tickets that are 3 days or more now include Epic Universe. And so the big change here is that the way that Universal's marketing their tickets now is a 3-park ticket is actually going to be Epic Universe, Islands of Adventure, and Universal Studios Florida. That's different from 2025, where a 3-park ticket actually included Volcano Bay, and it's sort of a +1 at Epic Universe. And so, for example, what this new ticket type looks like is the 3-park, 1 park per day, 3-day ticket allows you to move freely between Epic Universe as many times as you want. You can spend 2 days there and 1 day at Islands of Adventure, or like I said, you can spend 3 days at Epic Universe if you so choose. And it's also important for me to note that Volcano Bay is still a thing. There are just tickets that essentially would be 3-park, 1 park per day ticket plus Volcano Bay. So it's just a plus Volcano Bay option. And it's important for me to note that Universal does still sell their multi-day tickets for 1 or 2 days that include 1 day at Epic Universe. So it would essentially be a 1 day, 2-park, park to park plus 1 day at Epic. And I think one of the coolest things that I've seen over at the Park Prodigy that we're helping our clients as they're booking vacation packages is Universal also did release a 14-day 3-park unlimited ticket. And essentially what this would allow you to do is visit the main 3 parks, Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios Florida, and Epic Universe as many times as you want over a 14-day period. And I think it's important for me to mention this ticket type as because a lot of times what I had seen families do in the past is one of the best ways to get the biggest bang for your buck was to potentially get a Universal Orlando annual pass. And the reason why families did that is because for the most part, Universal only sells their tickets up to 5 days. So even if you're only staying for a week, it sounds crazy, but in those situations, it was cheaper or the better option to get an annual pass, to get a certain type of annual pass to kind of spend your week. The annual passes at this point in time still do not include Epic Universe, right? So I think this 14-day 3-park unlimited ticket is going to be really popular going into 2026. And I also wanted to start here because what I'm seeing right now at the time of the recording of this video, it's November 2nd, 2025. But what we're seeing is tickets for Epic Universe around the holidays of 2025 are selling out for specific days. You cannot get Epic Universe tickets. You can't even get multi-day tickets that include Epic Universe on certain start dates. So what I would say is going into next year, learn from what we're going through right now, the growing pains that a lot of families are going through. If you know you're going to Universal Orlando in 2026, especially around the holidays, purchase those tickets as early as you can. And the last note I will say is one of the cool things is Universal Orlando did finally release a new promotional package, which is saving guests on travel right now through the holidays, but also up until right around the beginning of March of 2026, where we're seeing up to 30% off at certain hotels. Now, the cool thing is we're finally seeing some promotions as Universal really was running promos and great deals all through 2023, all through 2024. So with the opening of Epic, we were kind of skeptical as like, when would we see them? What I would say is if you're visiting, let's say past March of 2026, come New Year, right after January 1st, in the years past, we've seen Universal release some really great deals for the year. Keep an eye out early January 2026 for any Universal Orlando deals that hopefully they will be dropping. I can't make any promises. That's just what I would say to keep an eye out for. Okay, over to number 2. Now, of course, with the new ticket types comes new ways to go park to park. park. So now those park-to-park tickets, those multi-days, right, 3 days or more park-to-park tickets, fully integrate Epic Universe. And I think this completely changes the way families are going to vacation at Universal Orlando and plan their days. Because guests now with a multi-day park-to-park ticket could visit Islands of Adventure in the morning and go over to Epic Universe at night. And I think this is a lot more important than people might realize. But the biggest thing here, the biggest kind of question mark is, what time will Universal continue to keep Epic Universe open until? Because right now we've been seeing Epic has been open until 10 o'clock at night, which is great. The park really comes to life at night and you really want to experience it when it's darker out. But because of the way they're selling the tickets, as if you're not starting your day in Epic Universe, you can't stay until 10 o'clock at night. But this changes it. If Universal keeps this park open till 10 o'clock at night, and if Universal Studios Florida is closing at 5 o'clock for Halloween Horror Nights, I think so many people are going to go over to Epic Universe and take advantage of that park at night. And as you can see, it's going to change the way we have to help our clients plan and the way you need to plan your trips at home, because there might then be an advantage to making sure your early admission strategy at Epic Universe is kind of solid, because crowds might start to get worse at Epic Universe at night, which is the opposite of what we've been seeing. We've been seeing wait times sort of come down at night. We could see them start to go back up. I love this stuff. It's fun to talk about, and it changes the way families are going to be planning their trips, as you can imagine. And don't forget that you still need that park-to-park ticket in order to ride the Hogwarts Express, which is the very popular train ride that connects both Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. And another really important thing that's kind of intertwined with park-to-park is Universal has a multi-day Express Pass ticket that they introduced in 2025. It is going to be extended through 2026, and the cool thing about those multi-day Express Passes is they typically can save you a decent amount of money compared to buying the Express Pass one day at a time. And those multi-day Express Passes are park-to-park, so you can use them at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida within the same day. They're not unlimited, but definitely make sure that you're looking at the multi-day Express Passes. We do sell them over at the Park Prodigy. If you want to go take a look at them, they can save you money compared to buying the Express Pass one day at a time. Okay, over to number 3, and this is another really important one, and this is not something, let's say, brand new, but it's just something that I think you need to be aware of. The more time that I've spent in Epic Universe, the more I realize that that park really isn't just about rides. It really is an immersive experience, and this is something that, whether we like it or not like it, I want you to be prepared at home so that you can at least plan and budget if you want to do this. So Universal at this point in time has certain upgrades that are additional costs that you could purchase, such as the Harry Potter interactive wands and the Super Nintendo World power-up bands. And the reason why I think you need to know about them is they are a really fun way to spend your time in the parks, especially if you're visiting Universal Orlando with young kids. I really think you have to get creative with stuff like this to keep them busy throughout a 12-hour day, let's say. And so I'm mentioning them now because I want you to at least start to budget. If you feel like your kids might be interested in either one of these or possibly both, you could start to budget and you can be prepared, right? And that's what it's all about. And so the other cool thing that I would say too is the way that they are kind of gearing the interactive wands, the Generation 2 and the power bands, is it's really a gameplay. Everything is being tracked through the Universal Orlando app, and you're tracking your scores, you're competing, different challenges, and it really is a fun way to experience the park. Now, of course, with that, you do have to make sure that you do download the Universal Orlando app, and I would even say make sure you bring a battery pack so that you don't have to purchase a fuel rod once you get down to Orlando. Now, from a budgeting standpoint, the second generation interactive wands at this point in time are right around $85 per wand, and then those power-up bands for Super Nintendo World are going to be right around $45 at this point in time anyway, but I would say that's a basic. Give yourself some wiggle room. That's typically where you should budget in. Okay, over to number 4, and we have some big changes with Volcano Bay, but before I get to number 4, we are about halfway done with this video. I just wanted to take a second to say thank you so much for checking this video out until this point, and if you are finding this video helpful, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot more similar Universal Orlando planning videos coming out in the coming weeks. Okay, but over to number 4, and we have some major breaking news about Volcano Bay, where Universal did announce that it will be closing in later 2026, right after the busiest season. So it's going to be down for an extended refurbishment starting October 2026, and it is expected to reopen on March 24th, 2027. So this is a 5-month closure, and it's definitely one of the longest that we've seen in the park's history, and likely for a major upgrades. And so we just want you to be prepared if you are planning on traveling and you're planning later in 2026. Just keep an eye on that, as might be the reason why you're not seeing, let's say, tickets with Volcano Bay available. And this is one that's from 2025, but just important for me to note regarding Volcano Bay, as you do plan those 2026 vacations, Volcano Bay is no longer using that Tapu virtual line system. And so if you've come to know and love it, right, and you're planning your trip, again, I don't like saying this, but the truth is if you don't want to wait on lines, or if you're trying to get through a Volcano Bay as quickly as possible, you might want to look into the Volcano Bay Express Pass, because it is completely separate than the regular Express Passes for the parks, and you just want to make sure that you're budgeting that in if it's something that you are interested in. Okay, and over to number 5 of the biggest changes going on in 2026, and Universal has kindly already released a lot of the major refurbishments, ride refurbishments that are going on in the parks in 2026. So one of the biggest ones that we are seeing is going to be over at the Jurassic Park River Adventure, which is going to be closed from January 5th all the way through November 19th, 2026. That is a major ride overhaul. That's almost the entire year, which is crazy. Some of the other ones that aren't going to be as long are going to be the Revenge of the Mummy at Universal Studios Florida, which is closed from January 15th through January 21st. We also have the Hogwarts Express, which is closed from February 9th through February 23rd, 2026. That's a really important one. Like I mentioned, you need the park-to-park ticket in order to ride the Hogwarts Express. So if you're only buying the park-to-park to ride the Hogwarts Express and you're visiting during those weeks, make sure you don't buy it so you don't waste your money. And then last but not least, we have Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey being down for a ride refurbishment from November 10th to November 20th, 2026. And that is essentially it, everyone. That's the 5 biggest changes coming to Universal Orlando at this point in time anyway. Of course, with any theme park vacation, there's constantly things changing. So if you have not already done so, like I said, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I will be sure to keep you updated on all of the latest changes going on in Universal Orlando and all of the best Universal Orlando vacation planning tips in the coming weeks. And if you are in the process of planning that Universal Orlando vacation and you need a little additional help, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website to save an extra $50 off your next Universal Orlando vacation package. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.